She was asleep in row 13, head tilted against the window, the low hum of the engines a steady lullaby. The flight from Tokyo to Seattle had been smooth so far. 10 hours in, the cabin lights dimmed, passengers lost in movies, dreams, or the hypnotic rhythm of the clouds. Captain Harper had been flying for 25 years. He trusted the air, trusted the jet, but tonight something was wrong. He glanced at his co-pilot, Martinez, whose fingers trembled slightly as warning lights began to flash amber across the dashboard. 1, then 3, then 5. Hydraulic pressure dropping. The yoke stiffened. The plane shuddered. "Captain," Martinez said, voice tight, "we've lost pressure in System A and B. Controls are sluggish." Harper swore under his breath. "Try backup." Martinez flicked the switches. Nothing. At 36,000 feet over the Pacific, their Boeing 777 wasn't responding like it should. The autopilot struggled, fighting the crosswinds. Harper grabbed the mic, calm but urgent. "Cabin crew, this is your captain. Please secure the cabin and take your seats." Down in the cabin, a flight attendant named Lila froze mid-step. She'd served drinks just 10 minutes earlier, laughing with a family in row 15. Now, she caught the look of her fellow attendant, white eyes, pale face. The announcement wasn't routine. In row 13, Emma Lane stirred. She'd been dreaming, something about the sea, the way it used to look from the cockpit of her F/A-18 Hornet. She blinked awake, adjusting to the dim light. A tremor ran through the plane. Turbulence. No, this felt different. She'd felt it before, in training, in storms, in the seconds before something mechanical failed. Another jolt. A baby began crying somewhere in row 17. Emma rubbed her face, the fog of sleep lifting fast. She unbuckled, looking down the aisle. The attendants were strapping in. No one was moving. No one was talking. Then the captain's voice came through the intercom, strained but steady. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're experiencing a technical malfunction with our control systems. Please remain calm and stay seated with your seatbelts fastened." A pause. A long, unsettling silence. Then, "If there is anyone on board with piloting experience, please make yourself known to the crew immediately." Emma froze. The cabin went still. Heads turned. A few passengers chuckled nervously, assuming it was just a precaution. But Emma could hear the tremor under his tone. It wasn't a drill. She pressed her hands to her knees, exhaled once. She hadn't flown in nearly 3 years. Not since she'd left the Navy after her final deployment, a mission that had cost her her wingman and nearly her own life. She'd sworn off the skies for good. But now, 300 lives hung in the balance. Row 13. Middle seat. She stood up. Lila spotted her instantly. "Ma'am, please, you need to stay seated." Emma met her eyes. "I'm a pilot. Navy. F/A-18s. The attendant blinked, disbelief flashing across her face. Then she nodded quickly. "Follow me." The other passengers watched as Emma moved down the aisle, steady despite the shaking floor. Whispers followed her. "Who is she? Is this serious? What's happening?" Inside the cockpit, the situation was deteriorating. Martinez struggled to keep the nose level. "Captain, controls are barely responsive. I'm trying to trim manually, no luck." "Mayday, Mayday," Harper transmitted. "This is Flight 270, we've lost primary hydraulics, requesting emergency descent and nearest runway vectors." Static crackled. Then the cockpit door opened. Lila stepped in, breathless. "Captain, I have someone here, a pilot." Harper turned, ready to dismiss the idea until he saw her. Calm, steady, the kind of presence that belonged in a cockpit. Emma introduced herself. "Commander Emma Lane, U.S. Navy, retired. What's your situation?" Martinez looked at Harper, then nodded to the control panel. Harper gestured her forward. "Hydraulic failure. We're losing pitch control. Autopilot's dead." Emma slid into the jump seat, eyes scanning the instruments like she'd never left. "Backup hydraulic lines. Gone. Manual trim. Sluggish." Emma leaned forward, scanning the displays. "Okay, it's not total failure yet, you've got partial response in rudder and elevators. Try differential thrust for attitude correction." Martinez hesitated. "You think that'll stabilize? It's the only thing that'll keep you level long enough to descend. Trust me." She reached for the throttle controls, her movements sharp and precise. Harper gave her the nod. "On my mark, reduce left engine 10%, increase right to compensate. The aircraft tilted, then leveled out. The vibration steadied. Martinez exhaled. It's working. Emma smirked faintly. Yeah, for now. Below them stretched nothing but dark ocean. They were 200 miles from the nearest land. Harper's hands gripped the yoke. We'll need vectors for anchorage. It's our best shot. Anchorage runway 33, long and open, Emma said, recalling the specs from memory. We can make it if we keep altitude for another 100 miles. The crew moved like a single unit now. No ranks, no questions. Just focus. Outside, lightning flashed on the horizon. The weather was closing in. Of course it is, Emma muttered. Harper glanced over. You sure you're not bad luck, Commander? She cracked a grin. I've been called worse. They hit turbulence, the plane rocking violently. Passengers screamed. Lila's voice came through the intercom, steady and calm, reassuring everyone that the pilots had everything under control. Inside the cockpit, it was a war zone of alarms. Emma's eyes darted between gauges. Throttle differentials maxed. If one engine surges, we spin. Then we hold steady, Harper said. We're too heavy for glide. Emma nodded, her hand hovering near the emergency landing gear release. We'll need that manual drop in 15. The descent began. Over the radio, anchorage control came through. Flight 270, we have you on radar. Emergency crews standing by. Winds 15 knots cross from the north. Emma took the radio. Anchorage, this is Commander Lane assisting cockpit. We'll be coming in hot. Clear the runway. Copy that, Commander. Godspeed. The final 15 minutes were a blur of calculations and instinct. Emma coached them through every second, how to balance thrust, how to angle the flaps, how to drop speed without losing control. Keep nose up, 10 degrees. Gear down, now. The gear slammed open with a metallic groan. Flaps full. Speed 200, 180. Steady, don't fight it, let her ride. The runway lights appeared through the storm like a ribbon of gold. Emma gripped the seat. You've got this, Captain. Feather it in. The wheels struck the tarmac hard, too hard, but held. The aircraft screamed down the runway, tires burning, then slowed, until it came to a stop at the far end, shuddering, alive. Silence. Then the cabin erupted in applause. Emma sat back, heart pounding, chest tight. Martinez laughed out loud, tears in his eyes. You just saved 300 people. Harper reached across, gripping her hand. Commander Lane, you ever think of coming back? She smiled, tired but proud. I think I just did. When the passengers disembarked, few noticed her slip quietly through the crew door, back into the rain. But Lila caught a glimpse of her, shoulders straight, head high, walking away into the night, the ghost of a pilot who had once sworn off the sky. And found her way back only when it called for her again.